Hey guys, this is Cam from the team back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm here for a triple episode review of Komi Can't Communicate Season 2. I know, I've been slacking of Komi Can't Communicate. Originally, I was supposed to double review episodes 4 and 5 this past week, but then my busyness at work and managing my time, let's just say it's been hard to do that. And alongside of I'm doing school, hey, what's better? You get 3 episode reviews slash 2 episode reviews and stuff like that. For episodes 4 and 5, I'm not gonna talk about them as much, but I think it is still cool. I think out of the combination of the episodes, I think probably my favorite one out of 4, 5, and 6 was probably episode 4. Although I did like the episode 6 bits when it comes to the ice skating, and then when Tadano was sick and Komi came over to help him, which I thought that was very sweet, very cute. But let's go by episode 4 is essentially this entire like the last 3 weeks slate of episodes were like holiday themed episodes, like Christmas and New Year's mostly, but it was the winter time. But in episode 4, it's getting to about Christmas time, and the thing is, we find out that Komi's birthday is on Christmas Day. So Tadano and company, they ended up wanting to celebrate, her birthday on Christmas Eve. Now, that's pretty crazy that your birthday is literally on Jesus Christ's birthday, which is December 25th. I don't know how that will work out in terms of getting presents and other stuff. I think you probably get less presents, especially if it's your birthday and Christmas, unless you're like a little kid. But I thought it was so cute and adorable that, all the characters we've seen up to this point decided to go over and celebrate her birthday party. And it looked like she wasn't like interested, but lo and behold, everybody was willing to have a party. I love the scene where Nananaka and freaking Yamai are like, we gotta find a way to sit next to Komi near this futon or whatever, like this to the table. But she ends up sitting near Tadano. And it was a good episode. I mean, heck, the back half of the episode is we get Tadano's perspective on the events of what happened before they even went over to Komi's place. We find out how they were able to all choose out a gift, and they all thought, oh, this gift is perfect for Komi. But then they're like, no, and then they ended up getting like a giant plush, black cat, which is definitely in the standards of what Komi would want. And guess who chose that? Tadano chose that. Even though it was a kind of thing, they had like a limit to what they could spend or what they could buy. And they're like, what, she would actually like that. And you know what, she did, and she was ended up cuddling in it. So that episode from like start to finish was probably my favorite episode, and stuff like that, because they even had like a whole, I think they had a whole like Secret Santa thing going on there. But that episode was good. The next episode kind of focused on New Year's more. You had it to where they're waking up, the first part of the episode ends up being like a snowball fight where Tadano and company, they're a team, but Komi's with a bunch of like kids on her team. And literally, because everybody is like afraid to hit her because they don't want to mess up her face or anything, or mess up her body, they won't hit her. And she manages to hit all of them, and the kids look up to her like, oh my goodness, she's some sort of goddess. So yeah, the next part of that episode of episode 5 is if you remember from season 1, we actually ended up meeting Komi's, other part of her family, and they actually end up going back there with her cousin that admires her a lot and everything. End up playing this card game. The grandma ends up playing this card game with them, and it's just like so serious and everything. But it was still cool to see and everything. I mean, heck, I think we even get a moment with Komi and her brother in one of the 2 episodes. I forgot which one of the episodes it was, but it was one of the 2 episodes. I think it was episode 4 where we actually see like that was actually funny too, because the brother, they went out to go shop, and the brother didn't want nothing to do with that, and every time, it was like something expensive or something that the brother didn't want to do, just ran away, but Komi had to bring him back and everything. But we find out that the brother's, he's actually more talkative than Komi is. So yeah, that was funny. But going back to episode 5, yeah, I didn't that Komi and her brother was in episode 4, but Komi and but going back, Komi and Komi can't communicate episode 5. What happens is at the last part, you have, I forgot what the one chick's name. She runs the shrine area, and Komi had to be one of the shrine people that tells the visitors, like, okay, it's cool to visit the shrine and everything. That was kind of a whole thing there, because it was nice. This girl that she wasn't gonna get any help, and she thought that Komi didn't like her or anything, but in all honesty, Komi does like her. So I thought that was cute and everything. The last 2 episodes were really great. I really did like that. And it really goes to show me the last 2 episodes when it comes to the whole group cyclization of this. Even though you have your crazy cast of characters like a Yamai, and stuff like that, the one thing that all brings them together is Komi, and that's the one thing I do like, of the aspect that even though some of them have like maybe internal beef with each other over fighting over Komi, as like Yamai and Nananaka. Some of them are genuinely nice. Genuinely nice, like Onami. What we'll get to episode 6 in a few minutes. So yeah, that was kind of the whole thing there. I did like that. And going on to episode 6, the first part is going to the shrine, and this time it's going to be with Komi, and this man Najimi freaking calls everybody from pretty much the freaking last 2 episodes, and they're all doing their own thing, and they made this ongoing gag. The more people he calls, he's calling them in a moment where they're busy doing something, and it literally messes them up. Like a pink-haired girl who likes to compete against Komi, she was about to serve like this freaking what was it, this crap, I know what the sport is. It's not wiffle ball, it's I forgot, badminton. She's about to hit this badminton and like have some sort of epic slam attack, and Najimi calls her, and it messes her up. And then her brother picks up the freaking phone, and all you hear is like, I'm like, what the heck did you do to piss her off, bruh? And the brother's going like, she can't talk right now because you really messed her flow and you pissed her off. And I'm like, yo, you look like she's about to kill somebody. I'm like, oh my gosh. You get the funny scene with Nananaka. She's playing like a mobile app game. Najime calls her, and it's like she's about to get to the final battle, and that happens, gets the call. She's like, ah! And because I'm guessing she would have probably lost her progress or something. You might sitting in this beach, and everything. And then they specify that she's lying or something like that. And all of Najime is like, yeah, Komi's gonna be coming. And she's like, oh, I gotta go, and stuff. So that was hilarious. I'm trying to think of another one. Onami. Now the first thing, Otori, I think that's her name. Freaking what's fixed? Eventually, it gets to the point where Tadano starts calling people. I think it was Otori, the one that's kind of airheaded, has the airheaded personality. He asked her, like, so you want to go to the shrine with us? And she's like, okay, sure. It's not like I've just been staring at this TV with the fireplace on since Christmas. And Tottenham was like, you've been what? I'm like, this girl's wild. He calls up Onami, and Onami, oh my goodness, it wasn't the funniest reaction, but I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna go somewhere with this, but yeah, apparently we think Onami is like probably perfect, like she like best girl, like waifu material, like alongside Komi. But this girl has siblings, and she getting pissed. She's like, shut up. I'm like, oh, she got that feisty side to her. And even Tadano was like, oh my god. Like, now listen, I've already said enough. Onami is probably my favorite girl of the bunch of chicks, just because from the standpoint she got that waifu material, if you know what I'm talking about. Komi has that too, but I prefer Onami but then I saw that, I was like, oh, I mean, she kind of not physically, she's kind of a verbally aggressive. So It's pretty cool to see that Onami isn't what it looks like she is. Like, Onami looks like she's probably the most sane girl other than Komi out of the bunch. And no, she got her own little kink, I guess. But the whole thing was leading up to Tadano trying to call Komi, but he couldn't do that. And her and his sister and Najmi are like, bro, you can't call her, bro. You're such a wuss. And stuff like that. So they end up all going to the shrine, and then they end up getting the whole thing of, well, what wish did you get and stuff like that. Komi didn't want to show it to Tadano, and she got like great luck wish or something like that, like the best luck you could get within the year. So I thought that was pretty cute and everything. The second part of the episode was about ice skating. They did invite Katai to go to the shrine, but we know Katai, he can't get his words across the right way. And that phone call, man, he was like suggesting some very suggestive things with Tadano. Like, he was trying to mean this, but everything, but he's afraid to talk to the dude. He has just as bad as communication issues as, you know, anybody that doesn't like to speak out in public and stuff like that. So I thought that was funny and everything, but it leads to the fact that he eventually explains like he wants to go ice skating with them. He brings Komi and he gets all scared like Komi, but Komi's also scared of him and everything. And it leads into a whole scene where they both don't know how to ice skate. Tadano does, so he teaches them, and he teaches them individually. And you get one scene where he teaches Katai, because after he sees Komi have that happen, the thing is, he wants to hold hands because he saw that whole holding hand situation with Komi, and this man loses it. He's like, I'm holding hands with Tadano. I'm like, I don't know if they're trying to say this guy's gay or something like that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I don't discriminate against gay people, but I'm like, it's really weird to me. But okay, I think he's just being nice because he wants to be a friend and stuff like that he cares a lot about, unless they specify he likes dudes. But I don't think. Oh, we also get to see what his sister's like, and everything. His sister's pretty aggressive. Like, I guess she does his training and everything in his dojo or whatever. But it was cool that we got to see his sister, and stuff like that. But she's very aggressive herself too. So yeah, but with the Komi scene of the ice skating, he shows Komi how to ice skate, and eventually gets to the point where they're actually like holding hands while ice skating together. And eventually Tadano picks that up. He's like, "Oh my, sorry," and then Komi picks it up and everything, and then they start getting flustered and blush. It's so damn cute between those two, because now the feelings are both starting. Their feelings are already there for one another. It's just like it's just like them developing. And even we saw in the first part of the episode of episode 6, this man got flustered just trying to call her. I'm like, bruh, just call the girl, man. And then you get the last bit of the episode where Tadano's sick. And it's funny because his sister's like, so don't die, okay? And she leaves, and I'm like, you think you would probably stay back if he's sick? You're just dipping and leaving. But he ends up accidentally calling Komi and saying that he's sick, thinking it's Najmi, but he realizes it's Komi. Then all of a sudden he gets a doorbell a few minutes later, and it is Komi right there. I thought that was cute and sweet and adorable. Of this whole scene of Komi going out her way to go over to his house to take care of him, make sure he's healthy, like, you know, getting him, you know, something to drink and everything, making food for him. I thought that was great. I thought that was just adorable. It goes to show you that a girl really likes you if she's willing to go over to your house while you're sick, take care of you, and make sure you're okay before she leaves. Like, that's like some that is like relationship goals right there. And you get this funny scene which after she makes the soup, I believe it, Komi was actually trying to feed Tadano, and Tadano's, Komi, what are you doing? I can feed myself. It's okay, man. And then after a while, Komi just looks and she just thinks about it. She's like, what did I just do? Like, literally, she was like, say, I'm like, oh, she's getting into that. I'm like, Komi's getting a little risque over there, and stuff like that. And then you have the scene, and then what is it? You have the scene at the end of the episode where she was so entranced and she liked the feeling of holding Tadano's hand from the last bit of the episode. With the ice skating, she was about to hold his hand out first. I'm like, is she gonna like kiss him on the cheek or something like that while he's sleeping? I'm like, oh my gosh, Komi, you're being so expressive. But she grabbed his hand. She wanted to get that feeling of holding his hand again, because she really did like that, and stuff like that. And plus, she was curious too. But then all of a sudden, Najime just blasts the door open. He's like, I'm here, Tadano. Are you still sick? But eventually, after the time they both left, his sister comes back in and says one of the weirdest lines I've ever heard. She's like, she looks, he's like, oh, he didn't die. And and his sister like, smells like girl. I'm like, what? But then the episode, we get an next episode preview, which we don't even get, and apparently we're gonna get introduced to a new character who thinks he's cool, suave, and is the main protagonist of this show. So okay, it's gonna be very interesting to see what this guy's character is like. So yeah, but all 3 episodes of Komi Can't Communicate were all good. I enjoyed them, and I can't wait to see more of this insane show. But I also can't wait to see, more of the romance building, more of the relationship building between Komi and Tadano. It's very adorable, very cute. We're in the stage now that Komi wants to hold this dude's hand now. Oh my goodness, so adorable. But anyways, I'm gonna get it for guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode, or the last 3 weeks, including this week's episode of Komi Can't Communicate, as well as hit the subscribe button. You want to get more Komi Can't Communicate content or anything else I upload to the channel. Anyways, guys, I'm the guy for. Hopefully, you guys have a great rest of your day or night. Until then, guys, peace.